So when you're using a 3D model in a 3D world, a virtual environment, you're going to add your own lights, and we haven't done that yet. When we go into Unity, we'll learn about creating lights. But when you're doing photogrammetry, right, that object exists outside, in the real world where we have lights. And that's why it's best to try to photograph things in open shade or something that's not producing any real shadows on your objects. However, sometimes that's not going to be possible. And when that's the case, you have to use a program such as this one that we have in our labs called dLighter, which is also made by the company that makes Metashape. And it's really simple to use. So I'm going to go ahead and open up. You'll basically have already exported your model from Metashape. So I'll import this model here that I got, where you can see all the shadows. So once this comes up here, there you go. So we see this, and we see that it was photographed, and there's all these cast shadows, like right here. And we want the lighting, as we decide it, to come from in our scene to create any type of cast shadows. And so we remove that by just selecting the pen tool here, and you really have three choices of what you can do. Now this one's nice and easy to do because there's only one color. So this first color, this blue one, is the shadow color. So it's very simple. I'm just going to draw over some of the shadows. All you're really doing is sampling the shadows, kind of marking, hey, these are going to be shadow colors. And if you mess up and you do too much, you can just go ahead and delete by selecting this eraser tool. Another thing you can do is actually make your brush larger. So I'll leave it a little larger, sample the colors that we want to keep lit. So these are the lit colors, the yellow ones. So I'm just like, well, these are colors that I know I want to be kept in, and most things will be of these colors. So there it is. I've probably given this enough information. Really simple. Again, if you have another color, there's this one called extra color that you would go in and kind of mark out that color doesn't necessarily really need to be affected. But we go over here, and there's two steps really. What you should really do first is go ahead and do this preview, because this takes a lot less time to do the preview. This model's nice again because it's like one color, so it takes less time once you start getting to other models. But we see here, look at how now there are no shadows on this thing. It's very, it looks very flat, although it's three-dimensional, right? And that's good because then when we put in our own lighting, the shadows will work that way. So the last thing you do is once you're happy, once you've seen that you've done that, you go ahead and hit the remove cast shadows. This one takes a lot longer, especially depending on the model that you have and the situation that you have. This one luckily doesn't run too hard. And you see it even does a better job there because it really goes through it with a fine-tooth comb as opposed to the preview. Once you're done with it, all you have to do is export it like you would any model. So if we just go to File, Export Model, you can name it whatever you want, save it as an OBJ, hit save. Yes, you want all of the things. We'll probably just go ahead and keep those two and export it. And there we'll have our object. And of course, it's all the things, right? We should always put these things in a folder so that they're all together. And there you have it. You have delit a model.